Welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a mixture of barre, Pilates, and yoga. So we're going to get a good sweat going on, get that heart rate increasing, and then we're going to be mellowing it down by the end. Make sure you have your water and your mat, no other props today, and have fun. So today let's start at the top of our mat. As you inhale, hands reach all the way up to the sky. As you exhale, come into a gentle forward fold. Just keep your knees nice and soft, nice and relaxed here, so you can let your chest rest towards your thighs. Head and neck can relax down. Let's start to roll up as you inhale. Find an articulation in the spine. Feel that stacking sensation, one vertebra on top of the next. Roll the shoulders back and down. Let's do that again. Inhale, hands reach all the way up. Exhale, gentle forward fold. Keep those knees nice and soft. Remember, we're just starting the class. Relax the head and neck. As you inhale, let's start to roll up once again. Feel the abdominal engagement as you're rolling up. And then shoulders come back and down. Step back with one leg distance. Pivot your feet off at a 45-degree angle. So we've got a nice wide-legged stance. Hands come onto your hips. Send the hips down nice and low. Now I want you to take a look here because I'm not with you and I want to make sure you're safe. Keep those knees pointing in the same direction as the toes. Quite often they'll want to cave in. Keep pushing them back. And when you're back, I want it imagining to slide it down a wall. So we're not hinging from the hips forward, we're nice and upright. So here let's add a little bit of a pulse, keeping those knees pointing in the same direction as the toes. I want you to warm up the big muscles in the body. So the hamstrings, the quads, the glutes. Let's find that pelvic floor engagement, slight abdominal engagement in the low belly. My cats are very excited that we're back to the video, so we're gonna see them, I'm sure. Keep breathing here, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it down nice and low, lift one heel, hold here. Keep those hips sinking down low, those knees pointing in the same direction as the toes. Let's add the pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, switch your heels for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, switch your heels for 4, 3, 2, switch your heels for 4, 3, 2, switch your heels for doubles now. Just a double pulse and a double pulse on the other side. Now keep those hips stable, just pivot at the ankle joint. Little tiny movements in the ankle to warm up those calf muscles and warm up your feet. Barre has a lot to do with your feet. 4, 3, 2, lift both heels. Let's reach the hands up towards the sky in a Y shape. Start to straighten those legs nice and slow. Squeeze the glutes once you get to the top. Lift your kneecaps towards your hips. Send the hips down nice and slow. Remember, your back is sliding down a wall. Let's lift back up really slow. Nice and controlled. Back down, nice and slow. Keep those knees pushing outwards slightly. Let's lift back up. Back down one more time. And then back up last time. Hold up at the top. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep those heels lifted. Then relax the heels down. Bring your feet in a little closer together. I'm going to turn to the side here. Here we're hinging from the hips. Send the hips back. Knees and feet pointing in the same direction. Let's pulse those hips. Little pulse here. Keep the abdominals lifted. We're fighting gravity with our abdominals. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Coming into an arm pulse. Reach the arms up. Pulse, pulse. Ribs to pelvis, pelvis to ribs. Try not to let those ribs pop forward. 4, 3, 2, hold the arms up. Pulse those hips again. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, back to arm pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax into a forward fold now. Head and neck relaxed. Chin comes from side to side. We're coming into the cougar, so bend deeply in your knees. Look upwards. But keep your neck nice and long, front and back, side to side. Let's pulse the hips. So imagine that you are a cougar in the bushes. You're ready to pounce. We're pouncing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep pulsing the hips, but lift your heels. Keep the heels lifted. 8, 7, 6, 5. Knees stay stable. 3, 2. Heels come back down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Heels lift back up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, back into that second position, plie. So knees come down. Lift both heels if that's available. Hands come up to shoulder height, shoulders fall away from the ears. Let's pulse the arms. Little tiny pulses. Now, quite often when we're in classes, I'll see floppy wrists. I want strong wrists, fingers reaching out to the side. Pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Palms face up now. Pulse 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hands onto the hips, straighten the legs, relax the heels. Bring your feet together to touch. So in our first position and our second position, we externally rotate from the hips and not just the ankle joints. So make sure your knees are pointing in the same direction as the toes. Releve, so lift those heels, glue your heels together to touch. Bend your knees pointing in the same direction as the toes. Let's flare the knees out like we have butterfly wings. Keep the back sliding down a wall. So you're upright, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Butterfly wings here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold your butterfly wings open, pulse the hips. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Back to flaring open. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Back to holding open, pulse. 7, 6, 5. Navel in. 3, 2. Zipping all the way up to the top, then relax the heels back down. Back to your second position. Send your hips down nice and low. Hands come back up to shoulder height. This time bend 90 degrees in your elbows. Draw the elbows in towards one another, then open back up. Feel the shoulder blades squeeze together. Feel your chest contract as you bring the elbows in. Feel your back contract as you draw your elbows out. 5, 4, 3. Exhale to open. 2. Last time. Let's bring those elbows in towards one another. Prayer hands here, lifting the elbows up and down. I'll turn to the side so you can see me better. Elbows coming up and down. Glue the elbows to each other. Quite often when we're lifting, those elbows will try to open up. Keep the same distance between your elbows when they're down as when they're up. For 4, 3, 2. Last time here. Relax those hands, straighten the legs. Give it a little shake out here. Bring those feet back together. Inhale, hands sweep all the way up to the sky. Exhale, gentle forward fold. Keep those knees nice and soft. Head and neck relax down. Nice deep breath here. As you inhale, let's roll back up. Shoulders come back and down. Back to your second position here. Bend the knees, plie. Knees pointing in the same direction as the toes. Externally rotating from the hips. Hands come out to the sides now. Bring that left hand over to meet the right. Pivot your hips and your feet so you come into a lunge. Bend that back knee. Open back up into that second plie. And then opposite side. Back to plie. Back to lunge. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over the hips the whole time here. Getting those big muscles in the body nice and warm. Abs are tight here. Exhaling on exertion. So we exhale to plie, inhale to lift, exhale to lunge. One more round here, then we're going to hold in our lunge. Bring it up into that lunge and hold here. Chest is nice and open. So we're trying not to hinge forward. We're nice and upright. Back knee is soft. Lift your front heel so you can sink into that front knee. Let's pulse it here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift the arms for 4, 3, 2. Come back down for 4, 3, 2. One more set for 4, 3, 2. Come back down for 4, 3, 2. Open back up into that second position, plie, and then over to your lunge on the opposite side. Lift your front heel, soften that back knee. Let's pulse it here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift your arms for 4, 3, 2. Come back down for 4, 3, 2. Lift back up for 4, 3, come back down for 4, 3, 2, hold it here. Open back up into that second position, plie. Then straighten the legs, relax the hands. Bring those feet back together. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, forward fold. This time, bend your knees so much that you can plant your hands, step back into a downward dog. Bend one knee at a time, gently shake it out. Open up your hips, open up your hamstrings. Keep the head in line with the spine. As you exhale, bend your knees, let your knees hover above the mat for a bear hold. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, bend and hover. Inhale, lift. Exhale, audible exhale. So we know that the transverse abdominis is engaging. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Hold in your bear hold. Flare the knees out for 8, 7, 6. Abs are tight. 4, 3, 2. Relax the knees down so they're underneath of the hips. Hands are underneath of the shoulders. Any discomfort in your knees, roll up the back of your mat, place it underneath. If your wrists get tender, fists are great options. Extend your right leg back, then lift it up. Let's draw a rainbow here. So imagine your toe is a piece of chalk. You draw the rainbow over to the left, then up, then over to the right. Common tendency here though is to move the hips far too much. Keep the hips stable so you have control in the core as we move the femur in the hip joint. Fight gravity with your abdominals. When we're in this position, our abs want to sink down towards the ground. Lift them back up. Collarbones wide. 2 more rainbows. Last time. Now I want you to keep that right leg lifted. So keep your knee in line with your hip if that's available. As you exhale, heel comes nice and close to the hip. Inhale, extend it. Keep the knee lifted. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Keeping those hips level with one another. So if you had a teacup on your tailbone, you would not be spilling tea from side to side. Extend and bend. A little hamstring curl to fire up the back side of the body. 3, 2, last time. Now I want you to bend, but keep it at a 90 degree. Point the toe, pulse that toe up towards the sky, then bring the knees in line. Exhale, let's lift. Inhale, bend. So we're keeping that bend in the knee. We're lifting and lowering, hinging from the hips. But I want you to keep your ribs to your pelvis and your pelvis to your ribs. So we're not dumping in the low back at all. Hips stay so stable, back stays so stable. We are working and activating those glutes. 4, 3, 2. Last time right here, I want you to hold up at the top. Flex your foot so the toes point towards the shin. Little pulse here. 8, 7, 6. You got it. 5, 4. Feel those glutes. 2 and 1. Knees come back in line with one another. Give it a little shake out here from side to side. Let's extend the left leg now. Let's draw that rainbow. Lift it up to hip height to start. This is where you get your piece of chalk between your big toe and your second toe. And then draw the rainbow to the right, up, and to the left. Up. So your little semicircles here from side to side. The shoulders stay level with one another. Quite often when we have any kind of movement in the lower body, we'll try to take over with the upper body as well. There is no movement in the upper body. This is just the femur in the hip joint. Abs are in, nice and tight. Audible exhale. 2 more on each side. Last set here. And then keep that left leg up to hip height. Let's come into that hamstring curl. Bend and extend. Bend and extend. Can you draw your shoulders towards your hips slightly? Lengthen your neck. Crown of the head is reaching out. If you are watching this on a TV up, I want you to not look at me. That's not what's important here. Listen to your body. I want you to keep your body safe. 4, 3, keep that knee lifted. Exhale, bend. Last time here. Hold it bent, but then come back into a 90-degree angle. Point the toe still. Bend the knees so the knees hover beside each other. Exhale, let's lift that toe up towards the sky. But when we lift it up towards the sky, quite often we get a little overzealous with this movement because we're excited about it. We know that we can do this. So we drop the ribs down towards the mat, we drop the abs down, and we sink the chest down. Keep everything stable. Just activate and contract that gluteus maximus. So I want you to feel like you have the most toned glutes ever. 4 more. 3, 2. Last time. We're going to lift and hold here. Flex the foot so the toes point towards the shin. Now let's pulse it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax both knees back down. Give it a little shake out. Sweep those feet out in front of you. Now let's come into our V-sit. Pull out any fleshy bits that you might have underneath of your sit bones. Grab behind the thighs. Roll the chest open. So here is where I like you to remember your heart. Right now we have a closed off heart. I want you to have an open heart. So chest is lifted. Lean back until we feel our abdominals firing up like brakes. We have a neutral curve in the low back. Walk your feet in slightly until you feel those abs firing up. Maybe a slight shaking sensation. If you'd like more, let's lift the feet. If you'd like more, hands release out to the sides. Smile here while you're breathing. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Audible exhale. So you know that low belly is engaged. That protects your low back. Keep it safe. 4, 3, 2. Last breath. Feet come back down, round the spine, knees to chest. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's roll back up. Take a look behind you, make sure you have enough room to roll down. Let's do this slowly with control. Curl the tailbone under, scoop the belly. So slow, so slow, so slow. So slow that you can feel your abdominals firing up to stop you from sinking down into the mat. Once your shoulder blades touch, reach your hands all the way overhead, extend your legs, point your toes. Draw your right knee in towards the chest. Wrap your left hand at the top of the right shin. Right hand is at the bottom of the right shin. Let your left leg hover above the mat now, so we have an engagement in the low belly. Now, if you would like more, let's lift your chest. But when you do, I want you to keep a fist distance between your chin and your chest. And notice if your neck flexors are taking over. If they are, head and neck come back down. Find your abdominals. Draw them in. Now exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Audible exhaling as you're switching. Remember your pelvic floor. Stop the flow if you're in halfway through so we can really fire up that belly. Those are the foundational muscles of your abs. Keep it moving. Exhale. Exhale. Now, if you would like more, coming into a straight leg variation. Exhale. Exhale. Abs are in still. Try not to have that loaf of bread that pops up towards the ceiling. Keep it tucking in. Your bread did not rise. Talk about gluten-free bread right there. 3, 2, last one. Knees come in towards the chest. Head and neck relax back down. Coming into our bridge. Feet come nice and close to your hips. Feet, knees, and hips all the same distance apart. Hands come beside the thighs, palms facing down. Curl the tailbone under, lift your hips up towards the sky, squeeze the back side of the body. Now make sure that you have no knee pain, no hip pain, and all of your weight is on your shoulders here. Head and neck are nice and relaxed. Starting with just the heel, lift and lower. Exhale, lift the heel, inhale, lower. Keep the hips stable here, trying to not move the hips too much as we lift and lower the heels. For 4, 3, 2, last heel lift. Let's hold it here. Now let's come into a pulse with our hips. 8, 7. Feel the contraction in the glutes. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Let's lift and hold. Hold it here up at the top. I really want you to find the contraction because it's not the movement itself that gives you the work in these exercises. It's the thought and the intention behind the movements and the holding. So I want you to feel the contraction in the hamstrings, the backs of the legs, the glutes, and even a little bit into those spinal extensors. Draw the abs in slightly. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly roll the spine back down. Imprint the lower back onto the mat, and then come back into that neutral curve. Coming into another bridge here, but bring your feet wider. So those knees will still point in the same direction as the toes, but we have a wider leg stance. Most likely your feet are on the outer edges of your mat. As you exhale, curl the tailbone under, lift your hips up, squeeze the glutes. Now you'll notice when you find that contraction, we have that gluteus medius firing up here, so those side glutes. Let's come into that pulse of the hips here. 8, 7, audible exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold up at the top. Let's lift those heels here. See if you can lift those heels, but all the weight's on the shoulders. Your shoulders will be rooting down here. Little tiny pulse here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax the hips back down. Roll the spine back down. Neutral curve. Roll over onto your right side. Head is resting on the arms. Now, quite often, we'll want our head on our hands, but you can see with my neck here, my neck gets pinched on the left side. So I want your head relaxing on your upper arm to make sure the neck is in line with the rest of the spine. Let's bend your knees. Keep your feet glued together as we lift our feet. Let's keep them suspended in space, not moving at all. Exhale, open the top thigh. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Exhale, open. Keep those feet suspended in space. Do not move those feet. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's hold it open at the top so that bottom foot stays suspended in space. It does not move at all, so try not to lower it down. As you exhale, keeping that knee at that external rotation on the top leg, extend your top foot. Inhale, bend. This is not a kick, this is an extension. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. 4 more. 3. Toes connect like magnets. 2. One more time here. Keep that bottom foot lifted. Try not to let it fall. And then hold that bend in the knees, feet suspended in space. Pulse it open. 8, 7. Fire up that glute med. 4, 3, 2. And relax both legs back down. Let's roll over onto the other side. Coming into that clam. Again, head is resting on that upper arm. Lift both feet. Keep your feet suspended in space. Exhale, open that top thigh. Inhale, bend. Exhale, open. Inhale, bend. So here, we're really activating that glute med, that gluteus medius, that side bun. Gives you that nice toned look. So you feel strong. Helps you with your balance. 4 more. 3, 2. Last time, let's lift and hold for this next one. Keep your feet suspended in space. Exhale, extend that top leg. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. This is what happens when I don't have music. I just start singing to myself. This is great. Sorry. 4 more. 3, 2. Keep those feet gluing back together like magnets when they come back in. Last time. Keep the bend in the knees. Now keep the feet glued together. Little pulse with that top leg. 8, 7, 6. Fire it up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it open. And relax back down. Nice work. Let's roll onto our stomach. Head is relaxing on both hands. So your hands are stacked one right on top of another. So keeping your head glued down. I know it's hard when you want to look at me, but I want you to keep it down so your neck stays safe. You have a grape underneath of your belly button or a piece of chocolate and you don't want it to melt or you don't want to squish the grape. Let's lift the straight, strong legs. So the straighter your legs are here, the more challenging this will be for your hamstrings, glutes, and spinal extensors. Little bookends here. Inhale, open the legs. Exhale, squeeze them back together. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. For 4, 3, 2. Exhaling to bring it back in. Hold it lifted. Little circles in alternating directions with your feet. So your right foot is going to go out to your right. Your left foot is going to go out to your left. Exhale. Exhale. Focusing on your inhale, exhale, because your inhale will absolutely come naturally. Your exhale, though, keeps you safe. So I want you to focus on that exhale. 4, 3, 2, go the opposite direction of your circles that you were going before. 8, 7, keep breathing, keep lifting that belly button. Ribs to pelvis, pelvis to ribs. 4, 3, 2, and relax back down. Hands come underneath of the shoulders here. Curl the toes under. Press up into a downward dog. Bend one knee at a time here. Gently shake it out. Breathe. Let's slow down our breath now, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Walk your feet towards your hands, come into a gentle forward fold, and notice if this forward fold feels different than when we first started our class. Still keeping that nice bend in your knees so you can let your chest rest towards your thighs. Head and neck can relax down, though. Let gravity do its job with your head and neck. Let all your troubles, your worries, your fears drain out of the top of your head into your mat. This is a time to unload, like you have a backpack of your worries on and you're letting it go. Letting it drape off the shoulders into the mat, and we'll keep it there. Hands come onto your hips. Let's roll the spine up. Find that articulation in the spine. Shoulders come back and down. Right leg steps back 1 leg distance, coming into our Trikonasana stance. Hands come up to shoulder height, shoulders fall away from the ears. So in our triangle stance, quite often we'll lose an engagement in that front leg, so we hyperextend in that front knee. So I don't want a deep bend in it, but I also don't want you to hyperextend. I want you to find an engagement from your feet up to your hips. Reach forward with your fingertips, keeping the engagement in your legs. Then exhale, fold at the hips. So your left hand will be coming down, right hand will be coming up. Your gaze will naturally fall where it wants to land. So it might be down towards that bottom hand, might be straight out in front of you, or it might be towards that top hand. Breathe in. Engage your abdominals now, keep yourself nice and safe, bring yourself back up to a standing position. Right hand comes down to the back thigh, left hand comes up, turn the palm to face the back of the mat. Quite often in our crescent moon, we send the booty back and we arch in that low back. Let's keep ourselves nice and safe by pressing both feet down and lengthening through the low back up towards the heart. Breathe in. Left hand comes down onto the hip. Pivot your feet inwards slightly. Send your hips back, slide your hands down the thighs, coming into our separate leg forward fold. Head and neck can relax down. Maybe your hands stay on your thighs, maybe they are on your shins, maybe they come towards your feet. Wherever you're at, I want you to feel lengthening the hamstring without a pinching or crunching. Hands come back onto your hips as you inhale, slowly roll back up. Controlling the body as you do. Right foot pivots out so that we're facing the opposite side of our mat now. Take a look at your stance. Our heels are still in one line. Our back heel, so our left heel, will be slightly closer to the other edge of the mat now than our toes. Let's find the engagement in our legs. Hands come up to shoulder height, shoulders fall away from the ears. Again, find that engagement so that we don't hyperextend. We're staying strong. Reach forward with your fingertips, then fold at the hips. And again, wherever your hand lands is where it should be. Here she is. Hi, Naya. I want you to keep that engagement in your legs while you're holding here. See if you can find a connection to your breath. Brace your core. Inhale, bring yourself back to a stand. Left hand comes down to the back thigh. Right hand comes up. Turn the palm to face the back of the mat. Breathe in here in your crescent moon. And our crescent moon is symbolic of new beginnings. Let's breathe into new beginnings, leading with our heart, facing everything throughout our day with our heart first. Relax that right hand onto your hip. Once again, pivot your feet inwards slightly. Send your hips back, slide your hands down the legs, coming back into that separate leg forward fold. If you would like here, we can come into a twist, either walking your hands over to the right thigh, shin, or foot, or place your left hand in the center of your mat and your right hand onto your low back. From there, draw your right shoulder up towards the sky. And if you would still like more, right hand can lift up towards the sky. Coming into a twist. Breathe into your twist, knowing that your twists release toxins and tension from your body, just like a dishcloth does in the sink. We're wringing everything out. Breathe in. As you breathe out, let's switch sides. So either walking your hands to the left thigh, calf, or foot, or right hand comes to the center of the mat, left hand comes to your low back, left shoulder can lift up towards the ceiling. Then if you'd like more, left hand can lift up towards the sky. Try not to bend one knee or the other to get into this pose deeper. Listen to your body and only come as far as it feels good. Let your ego go. It is not what we look like in a pose. It is not the pose itself. It's about connecting to our body throughout each pose. Breathe in one more time, twisting out any toxins or any tension. Exhale, relax both hands back down. Hands come back onto your hips, engage and brace your core. Bring yourself back up to a stand. Bring your feet all the way back to the front of your mat. Inhale, hands sweep up towards the sky. Exhale, release into a forward fold. Bend those knees as much as you need to plant your hands. Step back into a downward dog. Breathe in here. As you breathe out, relax your knees down, either wide or close together. Send your hips towards your heels, coming into a child's pose. Your hands can reach forward or they can reach back behind you. Or alternatively, walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Place your left hand on top of your right hand. Have long, strong arms as you actively reach your hips back and your chest sinks down. Getting a nice opening in your side body. Hello. And walk your hands back through the center. If you chose the side stretch, right hand comes on top of the left hand at the left side of your mat. Send your hips back, long arms. Breathe into the intercostal muscles, the muscles in between the ribs. Quite often we forget that we're three-dimensional and we might breathe into the front side of the body, or maybe even the back side, but we often forget the left and right. Walk your hands back through the center. Let's roll up. Sweep the feet out in front of you. Bring the soles of the feet together to touch. Allow your knees to open out to the sides. Grab onto your shins here. I want you to use the distraction so you can draw the heels close to the hips and relax the knees down as you lift the heart, lengthening the spine. Breathe in here. And then as you breathe out, I want you to hinge from the hips. Walk your hands to the outer edges of the feet so you can allow your chest to come down. Now I want you to see if you can keep a long neutral curve in the spine for as long as possible here without hunching in that upper back. Keep yourself open. Then once you get a nice comfortable hip opening, you can relax the chin towards the chest. As you inhale, let's slowly bring ourselves back up. Watch if there's cats behind you, and then keep rolling down onto the back of your mat. So your heels are still close together, knees apart, coming in to our cobbler pose here. Now I like to give myself a little opening in my hips and low back here. So my hands will come onto the top of my thighs, thumbs point down towards the mat, fingers wrap in towards the inner edges of my thighs. Then I just gently press my hands into my thighs, lengthening the low back. Now if this is too intense, obviously ease out. Remember, it's not about the pose or what you look like, it's about finding an acknowledgement of your body. If your hips ever get tender here, use your hands to guide your thighs back towards one another. Breathe in. And then relax that assisted stretch if you were choosing to push your hands into your thighs. Place your hands onto your low belly here. Allow your eyes to close. Know that you've given yourself this time on your mat to work your body. Now it's time to work your breath and your mind. Not only is it normal to have thoughts arise, it's also healthy. But what's not healthy is to let them permeate your body and let them stick. So every thought that does come through your mind's eye, I want you to acknowledge it. but then let it go and come back to a connection with your breath. Watching your inhale as it comes through your nostrils, and watching your exhale as it leaves through your nostrils. Breathe in and breathe out. No matter how many times you need to wipe away your thoughts, I want you to do so. And come back to your breath. Stay here for as long as your mind will allow. Then once you're ready, use your hands to gently guide your thighs back towards one another. Windshield wiper your knees from side to side, realigning your hips, realigning your spine. And then roll over to one side or the other, pressing into your hand and bring yourself into a seated position. Bring your palms together to touch. Thank you so much for joining me in your practice.